Okay, good evening everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Fry's Corner Bar in Bermuda. So, I guess you probably saw Shannon's post about we're going to do a virtual travel series each week. So we're trying to keep our Fry's Corner Bar Friday night shows unique and somewhat different. We thought, taking people to different locales, since really not a lot of people are traveling, this would be kind of fun, and plus it allows us to explore some of the native cuisine as well as some of the native style cocktails that are featured. So tonight we're doing Bermuda, so she's got a couple of really nice cocktails, and to keep with the theme, I have Bermuda shorts on. No, I don't. Actually, I got a brand new pair of jeans on that I just got from Levi's for $37.50. I bought them online. It was a special for Monday. So, I'm making fresh cod Bermuda fish cakes. So what I'm going to do is get those started while Shannon goes over some of the cocktails. I have already pre-made everything up for the fish cakes. The recipe is listed on our website, fryscornerbar.com. You can go there for it. It's a very simple recipe. There's a couple of things I will change on the recipe. One is to make sure that your onions are diced more fine than what I did, and also to peel the potatoes. So I get them all diced up, and then I realized I needed to peel them. And to sit there and try to peel diced potatoes just was ridiculous. So I didn't do it. So those are the two changes to the recipe. Peel them and then dice them, and cut the onions a little bit smaller. So without further ado,
well, why don't you get the fish cakes out and show them to everybody, and just explain what's in them.
Okay. So I made up these here. They look a little messy, just because I had other ones here when we wanted to try them up.
Just a little bit higher. Yeah, so, there you go.
All right. So I don't know if you can see these okay. And you can see that my onions are a little chunkier than they should be. And the potatoes are...
So what's in them?
Yes, I just want to set that down. It's really a simple recipe. It's fresh cod and parsley, salt, pepper, breadcrumbs, eggs,
potatoes.
Pardon me?
Potatoes.
Potatoes, Bermuda onion, aka purple or red onion, some olive oil, some butter, and 2 eggs and a few other things. So you really have to check the recipe, but I was surprised when I looked at the ingredients. There's seems to be a lot there, but it's really not, and it goes really quick. It took me, I think I posted on the website, it's 20 minutes prep time or 30 minutes prep time, and I was probably done in about 15 with the total prep. It took about 12 minutes to steam the cod, and about 15 minutes to do the potatoes, but I did them both at the same time. And then to assemble everything, it was really quick and easy. And then you chill those before you put them into the pan so that they kind of firm up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is get those started. Shannon's going to come over and talk to you about these cocktails. All right?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. And Max left for St. Louis on Tuesday, and he's going back to Maui. So this is the first time in 2020 that we have actually been empty nesters. And as I was thinking about the winter months coming, typically we are planning vacations and traveling and doing vacations, and with COVID we can't do that this year. So I thought it would be fun to do little mini virtual vacations on Friday. So every Friday next week we're actually going to do dessert cocktails. It's Mike's birthday, so instead of birthday cake, I was going to make some dessert cocktails. And then the following week we're going to go to Peru, and do some Peruvian stuff. But tonight is Bermuda, and we have actually never been to Bermuda. But our neighbors years ago, Seth and Kate, used to always go to Bermuda. And they actually introduced us to the Dark and Stormy, which is one of my favorite classic highball cocktails. But I am actually going to start with the Lost Plain. The Lost Plain is very simple to make. It has 4 ingredients, and it's 1 part of each ingredient. And it's named the Lost Plane because it uses the Bermuda Black Seal, Goslings Black Rum, and is a twist on the Bermuda Triangle. So it is the Goslings Rum, Aperol, Montenegro Amaro, and lemon juice, fresh squeezed and strained lemon juice. And we actually found Myers lemons again. We were having a hard time finding them, and we found some Myers lemons. So we're going to use the Myers lemon juice.
Trader Joe's in Hanover.
So I'm also, one of the recommendations last week was to talk about bar tools. And so I was going to go over bar tools. And when I started listing everything out and looking at the list, I was like, well, if I did bar tools, this would be an hour series, and I didn't want it to be that long. So I actually wrote a blog page on all of my favorite bar tools, and it has some ideas. So if you have any at-home bartenders or are looking to build an in-home bar or add to your in-home bar, I recommend going to that link. I have links to my favorite tool sites, and I'd say, as I was writing it and doing it, I realized that I have two favorite brands or two favorite sites I go to. One is Cocktail Kingdom. And the reason I like Cocktail Kingdom is they have a lot of Japanese manufactured tools. The Japanese actually, during Prohibition, or when Prohibition happened, most bar tools came from the United States, were manufactured in the United States with steel. During Prohibition, that pretty much stopped in the U.S. So Europe had to find another source, and they actually went to Japan. And the Japanese have always been very skilled with their stainless steel and make some very nice stainless steel equipment. So my shakers, this is actually an 1828 set, and this is a Coraco, a Japanese brand shaker, and I love this shaker. I've tried a lot of different shakers. I love this style shaker mainly because it is the steel is very flexible. So when you get your vacuum on the cocktail, it's much easier to release because you can just give it a little squeeze and release it. My Hawthorne strainer is also from Cocktail Kingdom, are my jiggers. I wanted to talk a little bit about this different styles of jiggers. Oh shoot, I forgot my other jigger. So this jigger is a Japanese style jigger. They're long and angular. This is a Cocktail Kingdom jigger. The other jiggers, more popular that most people use, are the short angular jiggers. The reason I like the Japanese jiggers better, if you notice, these are both the jiggers that I'm holding up are 2 ounces. This one has much less surface area at the top. So if you over pour, if you get a fat pour or a short pour, the difference in the ratio, if you measure them out, is much less with a tall angular one than the short fat ones. So I like the Cocktail Kingdom. OXO also has a really good angular jigger, and all of those products are on the website. And OXO has a good kind of home barware line that is everything is very reasonable. This is my cone fine strainer, which is an OXO strainer, which I really enjoy. So those were the two things. That was that's really all I'm going to say about the tools. If you want to learn more about the tools, go look at that site. So the Lost Plane, as I mentioned, is very simple because it's just one part of each liquor. I am actually going to make, I'm making a double because I'm making 2, so I'm putting, and the recipe on the website calls for 3/4 of an ounce. I'm actually doing 1 ounce, I'm doubling 1 ounce, so I'm doing 2 ounces of each ingredient. This is the Aperol, which is an Italian bitter. This is not as bitter as Campari. It's lighter and it has less alcohol content. And this is an Amaro, Montenegro. This is a very unique kind of deep spicy liqueur. And when we tried this liqueur last, when we tried it, I guess we tried it on Wednesday, we were very surprised. It's just, you drink it and you can't really taste any one ingredient. It just all is, but it melds very well, and it keeps you wondering as to what is in there. So this is a shaken cocktail because it has the lemon juice in it. So I'm just going to put my ice in my measuring cup. This is also an OXO scoop. When I was looking for ice scoops, I couldn't find the one that I wanted. They weren't in the stores. So I bought this, and I kind of like it because it's flexible. You can pinch it and so make it any size you want. You can control the ice better. But I still think I want a stainless steel scoop. The one I want, I posted on the website. So if Mike reads the blog, he'll see my Christmas list on there as well.
What?
So I'm going to shake this for about 30 to 45 seconds to get it nice and cold. The other reason I like this shaker is you can tell when the cocktail is actually shaken just by the fact that you can know it's a nice thin metal and you can no longer really hold the shaker. You have to put it down. So this cocktail is served straight up in coupe glasses, and as always I have had my coupe glasses chilling. Now, release the seal on this. Use the Hawthorne strainer and my fine mesh strainer. This gets out any ice chips or any particles or pulp that may be lingering in the cup, in the glass. The key to a good, straight up shaking cocktail is, trying to have it as clear and clean as possible. And the garnish for this cocktail, move this to the side, is just a lemon swath. So you just, as always, pinch it. You can see the oils, and then you just place the swath in the cocktail. So that is the Lost Plane, and I'm sure you will enjoy that.
Okay,
Now,
before you start, can I just show?
Sure.
All right, so here's what we have. I have 2 fish cakes that I've done here in olive oil and butter. I made a sriracha aioli. I posted the recipe for that on there, but I kind of modified it a little bit, and I'll make those adjustments because once I got into tasting it, I added some smoked paprika, a little chipotle, and some roasted garlic powder. And then I'm serving this with red cabbage. I was gonna say purple onion. I knew it wasn't an onion. Purple cabbage or red cabbage, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to have some jasmine rice on the side. The rice is just a few minutes away yet. So this is what it looks like. The rice would go right there, just a small amount. It's very toasty and it's really nice and flavorful.
Yeah, and we sampled them this afternoon, and they're delicious. Well, I think anything with mashed potatoes in it is delicious, but the cod and the mashed potatoes go very well together. Now, the next cocktail I am going to make is a highball. Now, I really don't make highballs often. Basically, a highball is just a liquor and a soda. That is a highball. And the ratio is typically 50-50 or 40-60, kind of depending on your 40% alcohol to 60% soda or soda. So this cocktail calls for ginger beer, And we actually taste tested 2 different ginger beers because I wanted to first test the one that is traditionally used in Bermuda. It's Barrett's Bermuda ginger beer. And then the other one was very highly rated ginger beer. It's Fever Tree, and this one is called Refreshingly Light. So this ginger beer is comprised of 14% sugar, whereas this ginger beer is only 4% sugar. So I was actually thinking that, can you look at my bottle opener? I'm sorry, I missed my bottle opener. This is actually a very tasty ginger beer, and I highly recommend the Refreshingly Light over the Bermuda ginger beer, just because we like less sugar. We actually had I actually had to dump the rest of the can because you don't use the whole can, because Mike didn't want to drink it, and I wasn't going to drink that much anything with that much sugar. So I'm going to make both of these with the ginger beer. So the thing about a highball is when you highball glasses, and I actually don't have highball glasses because we don't drink a lot of them. A highball glass, the perfect size highball glass, and this is not a highball glass, it's a juice glass, but is about 8 to 9%, 8 to 9 ounces. It fits in a highball glass. I'm actually using Collins glasses. Now, if you order a double in a bar, you will typically get a Collins glass, because if you figure the ratio, a double is going to be about 4 ounces of booze, and most restaurants do not, or bars will not do a 4-ounce pour. But at the Fry's house, we do. So the first thing you want a chilled glass, and you want good dry ice, preferably just right out of the freezer. Where this is probably a little wet because it's been sitting out for a little bit. But you want to fill the glass completely to the rim with ice. And I'm actually going to do the traditional highball calls for, the traditional highball, you put the liquor on the bottom and the soda on top, because the liquor is actually lighter than the soda, and it will float up to the top and naturally stir. Because you really don't want to stir a highball, because when you stir it, you actually release carbonation, and you want as much carbonation to remain in the drink. If you do decide to stir, you want to let your guests stir it, and you want to give them an implement that's not metal, because stirring a cocktail with metal will actually release more of the gases from the carbonated beverage. So plastic, these are glass straws that we use. So, and I'm going to do 2 different, I'm going to do the traditional highball style for one of the cocktails, and the traditional Dark and Stormy method, which is where you actually float the liquor on the top. And because I kind of wanted to experiment and see, the difference in the float. And so I'm going to do these about 40, 60. So you want to fill like the glass a little less than half full, and then you just top it with the ginger beer of your choice. And then you take a lime wedge and you squeeze it on top, and then you float it. So I'm going to sit, and so you can see that cocktail is already mixed. Now this cocktail, I'm going to do the traditional way you see a Dark and Stormy, which is where you put the ginger beer on the bottom. And I need another one. little too much. I absolutely put too much in there. And then you float, just lightly, slowly pour the Goslings on
Oh,
top.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, I think
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looks like it's more because it's floating already down there. And then same garnish, squeeze the lime on the top. So this is the traditional Dark and Stormy. It's served where you can actually see the definition in the liquor. This is prepared with the traditional highball style, where you put the liquor on the bottom, the carbonate on top, and you can see it actually has self-stirred, whereas this one will not. So this one I'm actually going to put the straw in so that the guest may stir it, and those are the two cocktails. If you have any questions or have any recommendations on gadgets, because as I mentioned, I love gadgets. I love all of the bar gadgets. You can comment on the post. You can put replies and comments, and we can chat about gadgets. Should we come over and taste the cocktails? Let's
I
start
certainly
with
do.
this one. So this is the Lost Plain.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Love you.
Love you. This one is so good.
Yes, it's very mysterious tasting because you can't identify the liquors in there, but it's just, the flavors are just amazing.
And it doesn't taste too boozy.
It's not sweet, it's not sour, it's not
it's
bitter, it's just like,
really, really good.
it's one of those dangerous cocktails.
Okay, and here is the Dark and Stormy. So
Cheers.
Everyone. Have a great weekend, and we hope to see you next week.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.